Morning everyone and welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and this is our weekly editorial analysis. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to everyone watching me live. If you could quickly confirm that I'm clearly audible and visible. Hi everyone. Very good morning. Can you hear and see me clearly everyone? Okay, so I hope I'm clearly audible and visible. And it's so good to see all of you guys back on this session where every week we meet, I bring you an interesting piece of article. And through that article, we try to learn many things about reading comprehensions, about how to read faster, about how to skim, about how to make inferences, how to understand the main idea. Yes, thank you so much, Amrit, for confirming that I'm clearly audible and visible. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I have yet another article for you. The source is, I'm not going to tell you what the source is right now. So we'll be reading the article and by the end I'll tell you what the source is. But the article is supremely interesting and certainly not an easy one. So it's a disclaimer that I'm going to give you. The article is not an easy one. You might struggle with understanding the gist of the article. You might struggle with understanding a lot of inferences, but we'll try to break it down into smaller fragments. We'll understand exactly क्या बोलना चाह रहा है author उन lines के through. हम क्या इन्फर कर सकते हैं उसको हम ब्रेक करके माइंड मैप करके समझने का ट्राई करेंगे सो लेट्स गिव मी अ सेकंड प्लीज हियर वी गो तो स्टार्ट करते हैं देखते हैं एजेंडा क्या है आज के सेशन का वी आर गोइंग टू बी हैविंग नॉट टू बट वन आर्टिकल from an editorial which I'll discuss towards the end of the class. Vocabulary, there are lots of words today that you might not be aware of. So contextual vocabulary भी सीखेंगे आज that if there is an unseen word, a word that you don't know the meaning of that comes up in the passage, how you're supposed to deal with it. उसको कैसे आपको contextually meaning infer करना है और उस पे ध्यान नहीं देके how you can still continue understanding of the passage and not let it hamper your speed. तो hi संकीर्तना ज्ञानेश्वरी. So ये second चीज बहुत सारे words हैं आज वो क्या आपके we'll be working on them. We'll be working on the tone of the author. We'll be working on the summary of the article. That's the main the idea of the passage. And we'll be working on lots and lots of inferences that we'll draw through the passage in today's session. So let's quickly start with the first page. Everyone have a look at the first page. Read the first page and send me a done. While you're reading the first page, I want you to focus on vocabulary. I want you to understand its contextual meaning and I want you to tell me what is the claim made by the author in this page. Okay, you have to tell me this. Read this and send me a done. It's a little tricky one. Now you have to tell me what is the author's claim here in the page. Hi Disha. What is the claim of the author, everyone? Claim is on humility and how the society treats a man in real world. You're pretty close, Sankirtana. For others, let me explain this to you. Uh, Humble people, okay, who don't brag, who are down to earth, who talk politely, who always keep others before themselves. These are humble people, right? So the author has mentioned a friend, Adam Smith, and his quotation, who said humility or being humble is one of the monkish virtues. Let's understand what does the phrase monkish virtues mean. Author considers these mentioned personality traits a waste of time. You're pretty close, I'm with you too as well. But let me explain this furthermore, okay? Yes, Disha. Humility is a virtue of monks. और जब उसने ह्यूमिलिटी को virtue of monks बोला है, before going ahead, if you've been regular with my classes, we've done quite a few philosophical articles in my classes, right? और philosophical articles जब भी होते हैं हमारे पास में दो words we for sure discuss in our philosophical articles. They're very likely to be found in any of the philosophical articles you read. The words are virtue and wise. So for all those people who are new, I will help you revise these two words and then we'll apply the meaning to the context of the passage. Virtue is being righteous, doing things that are morally right. For example, not hurting living beings, always helping others. These are virtues a human has. Vice is all the evil things, hurting people, robbing them of their belongings. These are vice. So, emotions that somebody has, wrong emotions like hatred, jealousy, these are all vices a person may have. And appreciation for others, love for others are virtues a person may have. Now, humility is called as one of the virtues because it's a positive emotion, a positive characteristic, of course. But it's said as a monkish virtue. Why a monkish virtue? It's like a monk has it. Monk कौन होते हैं? Sadhus. ऐसे लगता है sadhus के पास है ऐसा. Only sadhus ही attain कर सकते हैं ऐसा virtue humility के साथ में. लेकिन the catch is he did not mean this as a compliment. Monkish virtue is not a compliment. Rather, it's something else. So he says, skip ahead if you don't want to read this deliciously acerbic passage. So there's a passage Adam Smith had written, okay, and there's an excerpt from that. So before we read that, did you see the figure of speech here? Did you see how oxymoron is used in these two words? Did you guys notice it? Do you know what is oxymoron? Deliciously acerbic. If something is delicious, it cannot be acerbic. On the contrary, if something is acerbic, it cannot be delicious. It's an oxymoron. Okay, I hope you've noticed it. And if you don't know what oxymoron is, you have to point it out and tell me that, ma'am, I don't know it. You have to explain it to me. So it says there's a big claim here that if a person has these characteristics, all these are monkish virtues like humility, and they don't help serve the society. They are useless. Okay, so that's the claim the author has made here. Let's move to the next page and see if this excerpt from Adam Smith's paragraph continues. Read the next page and send me a done, everyone. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, here you go. Read this. Vices, Abhinay, are negative characteristics a person may have, like greed, hatred, jealousy. These are vices, opposite to the positive ones. There's another big claim you're going to see here in this page. Done? All right. Let's see now. Now, if somebody is humble, he has humility, it's a virtue. But somebody who is not humble, somebody who does not uh, has humility, is automatically going to belong to the column of vices, of course, क्योंकि दो columns होते हैं philosophy में, there's virtue and there's vice. तो जो humble नहीं है, जिसमें humility नहीं है, उसको आप vice के column में डाल देते हो. But then there's a big point the author makes here, and the point is that if you talk about capitalism and self-interest, capitalism क्या होता है? Before I explain this, who's going to tell me what capitalism is? What is capitalism? Where a market is run on the basis of profit, right? There are private organizations who sell the products in the market, and their main motive is profit. अब देखो लॉजिकली समझो, प्रॉफिट आपको बनाना है. अगर आप में ह्यूमिलिटी है या फिर और कोई मंकिश वर्च्यू है जो सेल्फ डिनायल पे फोकस करती है, विल इट हेल्प यू मेक प्रॉफिट इन मार्केट? सेल्फ डिनायल क्या होता है? नो नो नो, आई डोंट वांट एनीथिंग, यू आर फर्स्ट. That can never help you make money. On the contrary, self interest will help you make a capitalistic market. Can I say humility and capitalism are opposite to each other with this sense? Can I say this? That humility and uh, capitalism go opposite to each other, because humility will not let you earn money. Yes, because to earn money, you need to have self interest, and humility goes against it. Exactly. Correct. अब देखो, there's an irony in this paragraph. The irony is capitalistic market asks you to make money, to have supreme self interest. Yet, what we're taught in school and as as children, is to be humble. What an irony. Humble होने से आप पैसा तो नहीं बना सकते हो. Since you can't make money by being humble, why are we being taught to be humble? There's an irony here. But the author is going to resolve this irony. Let's go to the next page, read this, and find the solution to the irony. Here you go. Read this and send me a done. Send me done once you're done. There's another big claim the author is making here. Done? Okay. So he says humility and capitalism, they actually are not opposite to each other. They go hand in hand. They come together. To explain this, there are many tricky things the author talks about. One, the definition of being humble, the definition of humility. Okay. And then there's this tricky part. I'm going to explain this in simpler words. Okay. He says, if you are humble and you're not saying it, you probably are humble. But if you're saying it that you're humble, शायद तुम humble हो ही नहीं because तुम brag कर रहे हो. जो humble होगा, he will not say this with his own mouth कि मैं humble हूँ. He will not say this. So probably somebody who's bragging about himself being humble, he is not humble at all. Okay, and there are two things: to be humble and to be humbled. Let's understand what these two words, these two phrases mean. Okay, so I am humble is to be humble. To be humbled is when somebody comes and tells me, dude, you are not humble, you have to be humble. So to be humbled is कोई आके आपको बोल रहा आप humble नहीं है, आपको humble होना पड़ेगा. Humble होना is a good thing. But कोई आके आपको बोल रहा humble होना पड़ेगा, that is to be humbled, that is not a good thing. So that's the tricky part this paragraph is explaining. I hope everyone gets it. All right. And then there's another example here. ये आप skim कर सकते हो, absolutely. But then अभी तक author का एक main claim है that humility and capitalism, they go hand in hand. We still don't know how. Let's read the next page, everyone. Read this page and send me a done. It is a tricky passage, yes. In the beginning, I had told you it will need a lot of breaking up. This paragraph, this page should have been skimmed. There's nothing very tricky here, although there are a few terms like Calvinism, Puritans, I'm going to be, or capitalism. You need to know the meaning of these words. So, because when you read something on philosophy or political philosophy, you'll come across these words. So, I'll just explain what these two terms are. Apart from that, there's nothing very, very important in this page. These are only examples. So, one, Puritans are those people जो बहुत rigidly rules, Christianity के rules को promote करते हैं और follow करते हैं. And Calvinism is another sect of Protestants. जैसे Catholics होते हैं, Protestants होते हैं. Calvinism is a sect जो Protestantism को promote करता है. ठीक है? तो जब आप फिलोसफी पढ़ते हैं, सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ते हैं, सोसाइटी के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, ये टर्म्स आपको मिलेंगे इन्हीं के बेस्ड पैसेजेस में. So you just need to know the meaning of the terms. Otherwise, this whole page is a pretty simple one. I'll be taking you to the next page to understand how our argument the author had made that capitalism and humility go hand in hand. It still stands hanging. There's no reasoning given by the author yet. Let's see if the next page has it. Read this, everyone. Here you have your explanation. You see how being humble is necessary now for capitalism. You see the relationship. Dekho, if you are running a business and you're not humble, nobody will care. They'll move to the next hall. Being humble will bring in business to you. So, humility and capitalism aren't opposite to each other. They go hand in hand. Somebody would say, oh, this guy's jerk. You don't have to deal with him. I'll not do business with him because he's a jerk. He just brags about himself. He's not humble. So, commerce, if you have to deal with it, if you have to make profit, you need to be humble. You need to have good manners. That is what humility teaches you. And the last paragraph says, but if by humility we mean listening to other people without presumptions and by willing to learn from them, it's a virtue. So here humility is listening to people, learning from them, and then innovating, and then getting growth. So ultimately there's a conclusion that humility is supremely important for capitalistic market to grow. In the last line, the author gives us a suggestion. It's a closure. He says, good advice. Humility has to be smart. In that case, humility is not a monkish virtue. But if you're being quiet and aloof and no self-interest, then humility is a monkish virtue. But towards the end of the passage, he says, no, it's needed in a capitalistic market. I hope you've loved this passage that I brought for you. I hope you've learned a lot of things from this passage, how to break a passage and understand the gist inferred through the passage. On that note, we've launched our All India Open Mock for NMAT 22. The window starts on 14th and ends on 22nd October. Make sure you register yourself and experience NMAT before the D-Day happens. Also, we have our CAT 22 comprehensive program that we've launched, where you're taught under the guidance of serial 99 and 100 percentilers. So look no further. You can enroll yourself right now for CAT 22 comprehensive, 23 comprehensive course. And our test series has also been launched. You can avail this facility as well. The details are there under my video in the description box. Plus, our last lab to CAT 22 starts 17th October onwards, 7 p.m. daily. If you still haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that, and make sure you watch all these last lap series to CAT 2022. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and download our app on Google Play. Thank you so much, everyone. I shall see you again next week on Thursday. Have a very good day.